Welcome everyone to my video about nootropics. I want to speak about this subject because I really feel like it's something that I care a lot about. I want as many people as possible to know about this. Without further ado, let's get right into it, right? So nootropics. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. You definitely clicked on this video, so I'm assuming you know a little bit, but it's about boosting your brain, right? And nootropics, there exist a lot of different types, right? It's not all injections, it's not all nasal sprays. It can be oral, it can be tablets, it can be something with a higher risk that you haven't heard of and something with a lower risk. There are so many examples, right? For example, L-theanine, right? L-theanine, maybe you've heard of it. It makes you more calm. It makes you less stressed. It's something that I've taken in the past. It's helped a little bit with sleep, but mostly I actually felt like it helped my stress. My feelings of anxiety. My focus is a minuscule amount, right? It's a supplement. It's a minuscule amount, but it does help. And we can also venture into, nasal sprays, right? Selank, Semax, all these different types of things. Okay, things that'll help your focus, your actual memory, your BDNF. I'll talk more about that later. I just want to give a little introduction and something like bromothane, right? Bromothane upregulates dopamine. Maybe you've heard of it. So let's speak about nootropics. It's so dangerous, it will kill you. You might think, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. Well, let me talk about this. I had a friend. I spoke to him. We're both interested in biohacking, in supplementation. I was like, hey, you heard of nootropics? He was like, no. I was like, you can boost your brain, you can boost your IQ. And he's like, holy fuck, brother, you're gonna fucking die from a fucking seizure. And I'm like, no, it's not that bad at all, because nootropics, they've been around for around 80 years. Depending on your nootropic, there has been a lot of studies done on it, right? In the Soviet Union, they created all of these nootropics. They created bromothane, Selank, Semax, right? And I was speaking to him, and I just said, it's not that deep. It enhances focus. It doesn't actually go in and fuck your brain. But the mechanisms are really interesting, right? But yeah, it's important to disclaim that nootropics, they were made for soldiers with PTSD, right? They were made for something completely else, but they're mostly risk-free, in my opinion. But what I wanted to speak about is doing it yourself, doing your own research. Don't just watch this video and go out and take a bunch of shit. Do your own research, please, guys. The importance, it cannot be understated, right? Do your own research. Okay. Without further ado, let's get into, some examples, right? We have bromothane. Maybe you've heard of it. It upregulates dopaminergic activity in the brain. I'm not a genius. I just said something I read online, right? Its mechanisms are really intricate, and every time I take a supplement, I always want to know exactly what it does. I haven't took bromothane. I don't know exactly what it does. Someone I'd recommend going in and watching. He's called Louden on TikTok. I know TikTok seems stupid, but you can really, get a good footwork by just watching a couple of his videos on nootropics and just going ahead and doing your own research, reading about it, reading on websites. What do other people think, right? We also have TAK 653. That's something that's really new nootropic. Although safety, I wouldn't guarantee it, right? But it's a new nootropic. it has a lot of benefits. GB115, that's more anxiolytic, right? Helping you in social situations and such. And Semax and Selank, those are probably some of the most popular, most known nootropics, helping with anxiety, focus, a lot of things. Semax is like, it does so many things, mainly increasing BDNF sensitivity. Yeah. Hypothetical stack. Now I'm not gonna talk about what I take, but because of legal reasons and such, I'm not taking anything right now. I've only taken L-theanine, but I've heard a lot of people speak about it, and it's not the same for anybody. It definitely isn't the same for everyone, right? You can read on Reddit, you can read about people feeling like they own the world, like they can focus for 10 hours straight after just doing 1 or 2 nasal sprays, Semax. And then you'll read about people taking, something extremely strong, something extremely, like dihexa, right? I don't recommend dihexa, but reading about people and talking about it, and like them just having crazy benefits. Whereas some others would probably respond better to Semax, Selank, GB115. It depends, it depends. And side effects, there are side effects. I'm not saying this is a miracle drug, if you've ever watched Limitless, right, the movie, you know how it goes, right? There's gonna be consequences for most of nootropics, but if you choose Semax and Selank, the brain can actually tolerate it really well. There's not a lot of withdrawal in a lot of nootropics, right? Your brain doesn't become dependent. You don't become a piece of goo after using them. So that's important to speak about. But there are a lot of the anxiolytic peptides where you have to be careful. Pregabalin, you can read about it, but just make sure that you're not addicted to this shit, because then you'll fuck yourself up real bad. But yeah, this was just a general intro to nootropics. I hope you learned something, and yeah, thank you for watching.